Hello and welcome everyone, Stormy Sensei here. It is pretty late. It is almost midnight already. But we're just going to start a stream today anyway. I actually just got through finishing a pretty significant achievement in this game off stream. And I want to quickly go over that, and then we'll do some story stuff. Usually it takes us like an hour to start doing story stuff, so we'll save some time, just get right to it, and then we will do some quick story and be done within an hour or so. Alright, so I just beat Golden Gear's Conundrum 12, which is the highest difficulty you can do. And this is the team that I ended up doing it with. I have been trying this for a while. Realized a couple of things. First, don't want to get to disruption level 6, because once you get to disruption level 6, then the enemy starts getting speed increases, and you don't want the enemy to be faster. Although I actually did not know that it starts at 6. I thought that it started at 5, so don't get up to 6. That's very important. But I did get all the way up to 4, so the enemy dealt 20% more damage and took 16% less damage. Probably won't tell you what, yeah, so the difficulty with Conundrum 12 is all these crazy bonuses. Enemy stats are massively increased, they are much faster, they enter a berserk state faster, elite bosses have their toughness increase. Usually I'm able to survive long enough, but then eventually the enemies will go berserk and then kill me. But I managed to work it out this time. And the path that I ended up using was preservation. It's very important for me to get this. So the important parts are amber. Well, I mean, the most important part is actually being able to get this thing. So this resonant formation right here, every time when an ally gains a shield, path resonance regenerates 3% energy. That's important. But then even more important, well, I guess as important, that's probably the most important one. But then there are other ones here. So when a character provides shields to allies, this character gains a shield as well. So if you have someone like Aventurine that shields the whole team, then that's actually like 12 instances of a shield instead of, or is it 12? No, it's actually 7 instances of a shield, or maybe 8 instances of a shield instead of 1, or instead of 4. Because every time you give a shield, it also gets another shield. So that's a pretty important one. I realized that that was going on. And then another important one is, of course, this one, stacking shields on top of shields. These two are all right. You need to have at least one of them, because you need to have something like this, increase quake damage, and then also when you deal quake damage, they have a chance of bleeding, and deal increased quake damage. And then where's the one that's really important? When an enemy takes quake damage, other enemies also take quake damage. Yeah, that's the one. So this one's also pretty important. Increased quake damage, and all other enemies get a fraction of that quake damage. And then there's some other small things like shielded characters take 16% less damage, things like that. These ended up not mattering too much, the Remembrance Blessings, because the enemy was unlikely to get frozen. This one's pretty important here. You get up to 35 stacks of Fighting Spirit, and each Fighting Spirit increases your attack and your defense. Very important that you increase your defense. So because you're increasing your defense, that means that your shields are bigger, but it also means that the damage you take when you get hit is lower, meaning that the shields last longer. And then for each stack of Fighting Spirit, reduce damage taken by 0.8%. And then when you enhance it, then Fighting Spirit can stack up to 45%, which is a lot better because then you're taking 40% less damage, which is really great. Wasn't so happy about getting this one. This was the last blessing that I got. This one, you take up your own HP to deal extra damage, but when you have enough shields, then it doesn't matter. And then a couple of other small ones. I remember, this is also very important. Good evening, Zatchbell. Welcome back in. So all the follow-up damage, aftertaste 1 to 3 times, aftertaste damage 1 time. If the weakness broken, 1 additional time. And then every time you use an ultimate, it counts as a follow-up attack, meaning that they take aftertaste damage. Reduces the attack of the enemy by 6% when they take aftertaste damage. Action delayed. When you hit someone with aftertaste, you deal additional aftertaste damage. And then increased damage taken. We kind of got everything. This one was also pretty important. Usually I go for when the ally gets healed, there's a chance to get a skill point, but I ended up getting when you counterattack, you get a skill point instead. And then these are just kind of slightly speeding up the everything. So spores from using a skill point and recovering a skill point, and that goes along with when you use this skill point, that counts as a follow-up attack, or that's what for Topaz. But if you have a follow-up attack, then you gain skill points, which causes spores to be spread. And then you can spread the spores after they burst to other enemies. And then these I got just in order to get the resonance interplay. So every time I use my ultimate, I increase the res penetration of my resonance. So to be fair, none of this was really my own characters doing, but mostly the resonance. But I used the fact that every time you use any attack as Fire Trailblazer, you gain a shield through your talent. And then March 7th just provided a shield with her skill. And then Aventurine gave 4 shields with his skill. And then more shields, or 4 additional shields with his talent. And so basically just, keep on spamming your resonance formation and it just works out. I've been really trying at this for a really long time. I'm not going to actually claim the rewards right now because I'm going to wait until the morning to do that so that I can finish my daily missions quickly. But yeah, all this stuff, beat Conundrum level 12. So I beat 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 just now. And then I also got the occurrence dice. So that's a nice little setup there. After this, I'm going to start working on the dice for Conundrum level 10. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to actually go for, like which things I'm going to tone down. Probably the stats, and maybe, yeah, probably the stats, and like get rid of that crazy berserk status. All right, let's see what we got. Hanya needs relics, right? Switch to our story team. And then go on to the story. First, I may as well check to see if I have enough to get anything. I probably don't. Nope, not enough. I got 2 more weeks left. That's why we gotta go through the story pretty quickly. Alright, where we left off in the story, Boot Hill and Don Hung had just tried to check in at the Reverie Hotel, and they wouldn't allow them to because they couldn't verify their identity, and they couldn't get into contact with their companions because they're stuck in the true Pentaconi. Oh, Sabrina. The person I can't remember anyone's name.
The Charmony Festival is about to start. I'm so excited!
Hey, you guys here for the Charmony Festival too?
Well, I didn't come all the way here specially for the festival. Honestly, I don't really even know what it's about. But I heard it's a lot of fun!
Well, back in my homeworld, Anaria, we have festivals like that all the time. My dad threw me a birthday party one time that was just as extravagant as the Charmony Festival.
Sabrina has a
Come
voice.
on. The Charmony Festival is a once-in-an-amber era event. How can a birthday party compare?
Well, you never know, right? Maybe on her world, birthdays only happen once in amber era. Anyway, let's forget about that. Have you heard about the unsettling things happening in the dreamscape?
Unsettling things? What could possibly go wrong? It better not ruin the Charmony Festival. I've been looking forward to it.
Relax. With a big event like this, there's bound to be lots of gossip and rumors. Don't worry. If anything does happen, the family will be on top of it.
Oh, that's a relief. I didn't come all this way to see the festival go down the drain. Well, looks like I won't get any fudging clues out of these two. They're clueless.
Face recognition failed, lousy robot.
Greetings. I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family, head of security for the hotel. How may I assist you?
Hello. So, there's something I wanted to ask about. I've been hearing some unsettling rumors about certain incidents that might affect the Charmony Festival. Do you think there's anything to be worried about? I traveled all the way from the Hayaii Federation, and I don't want my trip to be ruined.
What do you mean?
Wait. You haven't heard?
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors, but they're completely baseless. I can assure you, as a representative of the Bloodhound family, that everything is going smoothly for the Charmony Festival. At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time. Even the Dream Master himself has arrived. So don't worry, your trip
The
won't
Dream
be
Master
in-
has arrived. Okay.
That's a relief to hear. She doesn't appear to be acting. So, it seems that even the hotel staff are out of the loop. Back already?
Hasn't she returned yet?
Nope. I'm starting to wonder if sending her to contact Sunday was a good idea. Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything about what's happening in the dreamscape, and wherever we go, all we see is people enjoying themselves. Definitely not a good sign.
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the Oak family is supposed to be in charge of organizing the council and managing everything inside and outside the dreamscape. However,
They're not out here.
I walked around the hotel, but didn't meet a single member of the Oak family on such an important day.
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember correctly, the head of the Oak family is that Sunday guy, right?
We shouldn't linger here too long. Let's go back to the Express for now.
Not so fast. Have you ever robbed VIPC, bro? If you run away now, everyone will be chasing after you.
Are you suggesting we sit here and do nothing?
I wouldn't say do nothing, but let's stay put for now. Even if the family has ulterior motives, they couldn't have anticipated us showing up here. We're the surprise factor for them. They don't want to attract unwanted attention from certain outsiders, so they won't do anything reckless. See, the IPC lackeys are keeping a close eye on this hotel.
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factors here. If we just wait here, that would be like walking into their trap.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan to the memo keeper. If it turns out we won't be allowed to enter the dreamscape, she'll order a drink for me in the VIP lounge at the hotel. In reality,
A secret signal.
that's right.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection with you. But Boothill, if you have more backup plans in the future, I hope you'll let me know in advance.
I'm sorry, but it's one of my quirks. I have too many unreliable friends. And if I reveal that I have backup plans, things can go awry. And that would leave all backup plans completely useless.
How do we get into the VIP lounge?
This is where my street smarts come into play.
Bullet and brain. Danhung is the brain, and Boothill's the bullet. Or maybe Boothill has both. I'm not allowed to talk to the Emperor.
You're the lobby manager, right?
Yes, I am. How may I assist
I've never
you?
met Dennis before. Wonder what his
We're
deal
the
is.
Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but there's something wrong with your system. The lady at the front desk said she would contact the manager, but now she's nowhere to be found. Now, we've been waiting here forever without any food or water. What the fork, man? Is this how the family treats its guests?
Is this your idea of street smarts? Starting an altercation?
It's called standing up for your rights.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday. I'll arrange 2 premium seats in the VIP lounge so you can rest there while you wait.
See? Just like that.
Just don't call yourself nameless next time.
This bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
I just wanted to know if I would be able to roam. Turns out I am.
Us people from planet Screw'em never brag.
A moment of intellatranchility.
Why isn't there a...
Oh. The dream nurse is not here.
Still got so much stuff to do at the office.
At least it's self-consistent.
Why isn't there a crystal glad on
One Peach Soul Glad?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, I have an order for a bottle of Donna's White Oak. Can you help us find it?
Hasdana's White Oak. I think there might be a misunderstanding. We don't serve that here.
Oh, no way. Are you sure you're not mistaken?
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all. I couldn't afford to cover for such an item if it were broken or lost.
That's strange. Well, could it be that the memo keeper couldn't afford it?
If she couldn't, she would just change his memory to say that she already paid for
No
it.
need to rush. Well, let's grab some drinks first. Maybe I arrived too early and it hasn't come yet. Let's see what kind of juice malts you all have here. Well, give me a glass of Heenum Valley, 40 years. I'll have it neat. No ice.
Wow, that's the most expensive one on the list. You have a taste for the finer things.
It's on the house, anyway.
Is it?
What can I get for you?
Anything you recommend is fine.
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboon juice. It's refreshing and suits your cool demeanor. Just 1 minute.
This flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot. Truly the finest sherry cask-aged malt juice in the cosmos.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that really something that humans enjoy?
Hey, this guy doesn't know anything at all.
As long as you're satisfied, dear guests, please enjoy.
Let's give the memo keeper another half system hour. If she doesn't show up, we'll need to come up with a new plan. In the meantime, let's take stock of the situation. What do you think?
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. Someone in a position of power within the family must be covering it up. It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools. If what you said about the Emanator of the Nihility is true, the situation in Penacony is a little complicated, to say the least.
Actually, there's something else I'm concerned about. Regarding Acheron. As you know, the faction that follows the path of the Hunt are some of the most dangerous folks in the cosmos to mess with. Who in their right mind would impersonate the Xianzhou Alliance or the Galaxy Rangers? It's like asking for a death wish. Isn't there a saying among the Xianzhou people that the rainbow scent lets their luck's arrow do all the beating?
Talking. Do all the talking.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, we've been keeping an eye on this region. Even the dumbest criminals know better than to mess with the Annihilation Gang, much less the Rangers. But that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary, she's highly logical and organized. She knows exactly when to hold back.
Wonder how Boot Hill knows Acheron.
And do you believe that someone like her would have an ulterior motive for impersonating a Galaxy Ranger?
I'm not entirely sure. I do have my suspicions. Maybe she knows a Galaxy Ranger, or perhaps she's trying to lure us out for some reason, which I can't figure out.
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within the family. They've summoned followers from various paths for the festival. No matter how generous such a gesture is, this move seems highly unusual. Unless the invitations weren't sent by them. If that's the case, it's even more intriguing that the family insists on organizing the Charmony Festival, despite the chaos.
Maybe it's Sheepei the Harmony pulling the strings.
Sheepei.
We find it beyond human understanding because it wasn't arranged by humans at all. People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe in things they know they shouldn't and fudge. They even break their own rules. But eons don't. They stick to their determined path and never turn back, even if they reach a dead end.
You think Sheepei's will is behind all this?
It may not necessarily be Sheepei. There's definitely some higher entity involved. I know it may sound pessimistic, but if human free will were reliable, why would we even need Galaxy Rangers? It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the Hunt, or how the Express stays true to the Trailblaze despite Akavili's disappearance.
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds significance for the Nameless.
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for their own choices because their absolutely right leader is gone?
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just about following a path that's always considered absolutely right. It's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself among countless possibilities, even with limited insight and judgment.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility for their choices. Because no one else can do it for them. That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter and figure out her true intentions. Just in case. I have a backup plan if the Memo Keeper doesn't show up. This is my final backup plan. I promise.
You sure have a lot of cards up your sleeve.
Well, going back to my old career would make things a lot easier. By the way, when you were walking around the hotel, did you happen to see any important-looking guests?
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining chips with the family. Or maybe we can even take their identities.
No
Is Don
need
gonna
for that.
go? Yeah, I didn't think he'd go for
Return
that.
to the Express now.
Wait. Are you getting scared? Draw your weapon. Let's make a big scene.
Are you leaving, esteemed guests? Would you like to cancel that Asdonis White Oak you just ordered?
Huh? As Donna's White Oak. But didn't you just say?
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit intoxicated, esteemed guests. You ordered a bottle of Asdonis White Oak just a moment ago.
Looks like your Memo Keeper friend has finally arrived.
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. You know, too many modifications and all. Anyway, let me check. Well, fork me. It says Donna's White Oak, all right. And there's a note. I'll be waiting for you on the Astral Express.
Perfect.
No mistake. That's her message to you. She knew the hotel wasn't safe, so she suggested we find another place.
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back to the Astral Express. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
You're back? Two guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill. So I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Black Swan and Acheron?
Two guests?
Yeah, or two. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express. But sneaking in like that, you have no regard for etiquette.
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust right now.
You are the Memo Keeper.
The other Astral Express members can't actually remember that the Garden of Recollection is right there in their corner of their ship.
And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting. I hope you enjoyed that bottle of Astana's White Oak. You sure have a refined taste.
Finally, Memo Keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase. Spill everything you know.
But who's the other
Precisely what I
guest?
intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Swan,
There she
and I
is.
serve the Garden of Recollection as a memo keeper. As for Acheron's story, I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag! You betrayed me!
Shirt bag.
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I've been exiled by the family. Thankfully, this memo keeper came to my aid and helped me escape their surveillance unnoticed.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from unnoticed. But we did escape.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals. Namely, all of you.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice lady. You think I'm dumb or something? How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what secrets spill out. Then, we can talk about trust.
I don't think this will work out too well for
Doesn't
you.
have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options? What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety. I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
This passenger is requesting.
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat, and seems to be telling the truth.
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Donham. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need our help. As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed. I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other, so this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise. To return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me that every rainfall is like a gift from the heavens, a sign of their mercy upon the world. Raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. Their constant pouring is a reminder that the gods haven't abandoned us yet. So, how long has this rain been going on for?
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually stop. Years and decades passed. And in the end, such hope faded away before the rain did. Looks like the god you mentioned doesn't exist after all. Well, let me share a story. Mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, leaving behind a trail that creates countless ripples of possibilities. These ripples last longer than the fleeting lifetimes of humans. And for some, their presence leaves such a strong mark that it's reflected in the waves.
Like those shadows on the ocean.
Sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Pathstrongers, they emerge from the depths of IX, seeing themselves as masters of their own destiny, unknowingly repeating the actions of their past lives. They emerge from the nihility and head toward it, leading purposeless lives. However, these hollow phantoms,
So Maybe they're about to spell it out for me, but it seems as though they're currently inside IX, the Nihility. The Nihility is famously a black star that absorbs everything. Nothing can escape it. Once you get close to it, and once you even look at it, you lose all like hope and willingness to even like fight against the pull of the void. But maybe they're like inside IX right now.
They were once my dear companions. A group of galaxy rangers.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. I'm guiding them toward transcendence. It was a brutal war. A crusade that shook the universe. The universe witnessed the fall of Zulo, the Lord Ravager, but it came at a price. A price so hefty that only those who were there still remember. The unwavering determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. So someone must guide these lost souls to their life beyond. They were heroes in their time. And they shouldn't be reduced to mere puppets of the Nihility. As for me, I've suffered too many losses on that battlefield to advance any further. And that makes me the most fitting person to carry out this task.
But you know, these sin thirsters, they're not who they used to be.
Does this seem pointless to you?
How ironic.
Well, some tasks have to be done, even if they are pointless.
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the Nihility. That's what I've been seeking.
I see. After all, this realm is off limits to ordinary souls, right? Thank you, stranger. I wish that you find what you seek.
Before we part ways, I have one more question. It is true that their actions and even their entire lives may seem pointless from our perspective. But if, and it's just an if this is what the departed ones expected, should we try to change it?
A good question. And a profound one.
In her ultimate, her first line is, "I weep for the departed." Well, that phrasing, it was significance.
Is that one day I too will pass away. And when I bid farewell to this world, someone will stand at my grave and place a bouquet of flowers on it.
9 hours
When I
till.
appeared as a child, my speech, mindset, and soul reflected immaturity and innocence. As I grew into adulthood, I left behind my childlike side.
It's like a paraphrasing of the Bible.
I humbly request your blessings, esteemed advocate of sheep baby.
Come to me, my kinship. I have sought their presence with us.
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the harmony to the best of my ability. However, I made a mistake yesterday. While I was preparing dinner for the family head, I accidentally dropped a prepared dish on the floor. Out of laziness, I lied and claimed that everything was ready. Although the head has dismissed me as punishment, it has been tough to sleep with the guilt still gnawing at me, as I worry that the seeds of evilness may have taken root in my soul. So, I confess to you now to seek atonement for my sins.
Do you sincerely repent and vow to change your ways?
Yes.
Have you examined your soul and confessed all your sins?
Yes.
Are you willing to accept the process of atonement?
Yes.
He's gonna hit him with that same curse he got on Aventurine.
Show your dedication and goodwill to the family, and you shall be reinstated.
Okay, he's didn't come out immediately as being super evil.
Leave in peace.
Oh, praise Sheepy. And thank you, esteemed advocate.
Next, please step forward.
I wholeheartedly confess to you. Please, pardon my sins.
Rest assured, I have implored their presence to be with us. As long as you are sincere, absolution will be granted.
Oh, great. No, I arrived in Penacony as a stowaway. I sold everything
Dang.
to get a ticket. My house, my land, and my 2 children.
I see. Please, go on.
My children were starving, and I hoped they'd have a chance at survival if they became slaves here. If I can strike it rich here, I'll lift them out of that situation and give them the life they deserve. But the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail, hunting me down. I thought I could bring my kids here. It was all my fault. All my fault.
The family is ready to forgive all sinners. I'll ask the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit.
Oh, wow. He was positive with this one too.
Live in fear anymore.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll work my hardest to redeem my children and make them part of the family. Praise the harmony.
This is a very different outlook on the character than when he was dealing with Aventurine.
Please step forward.
Hey, long time no see, Mr. Sunday. The most esteemed individual in Penacony, and the next leader of the Oak family, right?
I have sought their presence with us. Let us proceed.
Sure, let's just get this over with. I have sinned, please forgive me. I wasted half a pizza at breakfast, and a bottle of Soul Glad. That's it. Nothing more. When we wrap this up, I've got a robo-ball game to catch, you know?
Do you seek to atone for your sins through good deeds?
Like, no, I don't really.
My sins? Starting to sound like a saint, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Neither the family nor you have the right to judge me. You think nobody knows what your precious family has done? About the watchmaker? Huh? Don't kid yourself, Featherbrain.
Those dream chasers might be fooled by your act, but don't fool yourself. Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Where does the power of the Oak family come from? And your power? What makes you think you can sit there all high and mighty, looking down on everyone else?
We learned during the last stream, or I guess we confirmed during the last stream, Mikhail the Watchmaker was one of the Nameless that originally landed in Penacony and created the dreamscape and the sweet dreams, but the family eventually showed up and took over and exiled the Watchmaker. And that the sweet dreams are actually fueled by the empty husk souls of the people that waste away all of their lifetime in the dreams.
Well, I've spent enough time in confession today to enter the Harmony's paradise, right? Then I'll take my leave. Good luck with your election, and, don't make me regret my investments in you.
Triple-faced soul, hear my doubts. Who can judge the strong when their power hides their crimes? Who can vouch for the weak when they will pay any price to survive? Who can comfort the purest souls when even they get led astray? If the strong defending the weak is truly the foundation of paradise, then who is responsible for the suffering and anguish in this wretched world?
Brother? Brother? Brother, are you all right?
I'm fine. I've been working long hours, and I just made a trip to Dreamflux Reef and back. So, I'm a bit out of sorts. But it'll all be over before we know it.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this incident. Even if the Stellaron does pose a grave threat, I still feel sorry for all the trouble we've caused you.
No need to worry about troubling anyone. The Charmony Festival was meant to spread joy and harmony across the cosmos. But now that we know the truth, I'm afraid we'll have to cancel it.
The Charmony Festival takes place at the Grand Theater, and that's actually it's actually just a giant Stellaron, and it's going to sacrifice all the people into continuing the sweet dreams.
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so we'll do our best to explain everything to the Dream Master. I'm sure he'll understand.
Understand?
Even if the negotiation does not go smoothly, I'll refuse to go on stage. Without the Chord Master, the Harmonious Choir would not arrive, and the Charmony Festival would be just a grand performance, and nothing more.
I'm relieved to see your determination.
You should know that the Dream Master is probably behind it all.
We haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself. I'd heard of the heads of the 5 major lineages, but the Dream Master is a mystery to me.
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us. But, given the urgency of the situation, he's agreed to meet us in person.
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet the Dream Master in years, Mr. Yang.
Let's hope we can reach a consensus that satisfies everyone.
Indeed. Let us hope so.
It's about time.
We'll have to get ready for the meeting. I apologize for any inconvenience caused by the urgency.
Don't worry. I'll be waiting here.
It's Mr. Sunday! Hey, come over here!
Looks like someone needs help. Let's go check it out.
Not sure I'm a fan of the Rodden team. See if I can clean this up a little bit. Is that what I want? Like I almost brought out the Hanya, but that doesn't make any sense. Damage buff. Yeah, this is fine.
My dream is right before my eyes.
Checked off the list. Now, where should I go next?
Majestic Hall of Art?
Thank you for everything you've done. I'll be waiting.
Mr. Sun. Hey there! Okay, see the moon in the sky? It's about the size of the cap on my soul glad bottom. If I just reached out my hand, I could grab the moon, couldn't I?
The moon? You mean the Grand Theater?
Yeah. Look at me. I've been away from home for too long. I must be missing that moon. But it's no big deal. The Grand Theater here looks much better than the moon back home. It's just...
Is he a sin thirster? The moon back home?
They told me not to sell everything I had just to come to Pentecote. How short-sighted.
This is the guy that sold his kids?
Why would you go to such lengths? Why? Can't you see? Life back home is miserable. It's not really living at all. It's better to be here at Pinnacle. No pain, no worries about tomorrow, just sweet dreams. You can do whatever you want. That's what I call living. Yeah, now this is the life. Is this truly living? Huh? What did you say, young lady? I didn't quite catch that.
I feel like she didn't have these reservations ahead of time,
it's
like
nothing,
before
You see,
interacting
the
with
traffic
death.
on Glocks Avenue can be dangerous. How about I ask a Bloodhound family member to escort you to Ideen Park over there, so you can continue enjoying your sweet dream?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Wow, no wonder you were the leader of this sweet dream. You're totally a lifesaver. See you around, Mr. Sunday, and it was nice chatting with you.
What's up, sister?
This is the land of the dreams. But why do they live like this? The man we ran into, he doesn't seem happy at all. Even though sweet dreams are nice, they're just illusions. But for him, they're the only way to survive, even if it means giving up on reality. That's not really living at all.
I suppose you have a point. But, in my opinion, that's how most people live their lives.
Why do you say that?
You think that man is not actually living, but that's not quite accurate. Even without Penacony, people create their own illusions called self-value. People believe they have a predetermined value to fulfill. Gaining value means gaining power, and those deemed worthless are seen as the weak. However, value doesn't come out of thin air, and there's a limit to it. To accumulate value, people have to take from others.
Hey,
So
now that's not
the
true.
weak get exploited and oppressed.
You can. It's not a zero-sum game.
Suggesting that this is not how things should be?
Exactly. But, ironically, people don't think there's anything wrong with it, because they uphold the illusory notion of self-value, and even the weak believe in it. Survival of the fittest. That's where all the tragedies in the world come from. People come to the sweet dream in Penacony to escape from that reality and find solace. No tragedies exist here, only happiness. Although in its nascent form, isn't that the same paradise we yearn for in our dreams?
Must have misunderstood, because he's saying that, like, this is a good thing. So, in reality, they have their own illusion besides the sweet dream called self-value. So you're living around and you're maintaining your self-value even at the cost of your reality. Predetermined value to fulfill. Gaining value means gaining power, and those deemed worthless are seen as the weak. Let me try to... This is probably where I'm misunderstanding him. Value doesn't come out of thin air. There's a limit to it. I think that, because I disagree with him, I think that this is... Because there are a lot of things, such as ideas and time spent, that, you know, do kind of just come out of thin air. Like, you just exist and have intrinsic value. Or you could just, like, talk to someone, and there you have a value that came out of thin air. And that's like something where both people gain rather than one person takes from another. Charles says, are you suggesting that this is not how things should be? When she says this, is she talking about what Sunday's talking about? Or is she talking about the sweet dreams is not how things should be? Not quite accurate. Even without Penacony, people have self-value. So even without Penacony, he would still be not really living at all. And the people in reality uphold the notion of self-value, and even the weak believe in it. So we're all thinking that the strong deserve to have more and the weak deserve to have less. Survival of the fittest, blah, 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 blah. Tragedy of the world. Is it a tragedy if everyone's just okay with it? I guess you could make an argument that you could be better.
That man is just an exception. Let's not jump to conclusions. We should experience the dreamscape ourselves. Just as I did at Dreamflux Reef.
Yes. Seeing is believing. I'll accompany you. The Dream Master hasn't shown up yet, so we have some time for a stroll.
I kind of want to end here. Because it's just crossed 1 a.m. and I'm actually a little too tired to actually keep up with the amount of dialogue that's going on right now. I'm almost done with Venturing's Traces. Where did I get that from? Must have gotten that from Simulated Universe. No, I didn't get it from there. Maybe I did. Okay, so you have to do the one mission. Alright, that's fine. That's my thing to do in the morning anyway, with the reset. Basically this thing. So in 3 hours, rather than do all of this stuff, I'm just going to click X or tap twice and finish my dailies. And that will free me up for using up my energy right now. Pretty sure that's the thing that I want, but I'm gonna just double check. Yep.
Yield.
Smell of sin.
You gonna hold everyone back again? Lend me your strength. Don't mess with me. What?
We've entered the storm.
To guard and defend. Crush them. I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. You're a copy.
Subdue. This is serious. Recount.
What a headache. I'll end your misery. Who's next? Lend me your strength. Give me strength.
We'll remember your kindness. The Ten Lords' favor grants victory.
Hedge your bets. Spend freely.
mess with me. Who's next?
Stay back, Clara. Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Watch your head.
Conflict is pitiless. Hide. Trifling. Stay back, Clara.
All
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
So you are afraid of me.
Hear this thunder.
I need to be brave.
Annihilate.
Who's next?
Sure, I'll play along.
I'll free you from your disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
It's on me.
Stay back, Clara. Stay back, Clara. Conflict is pitiless. Target threat index lowered. Eliminating threat.
So you are afraid of me. Who's next?
There's no time to lose. Hear this thunder. Show no mercy.
It really didn't break. That's crazy. Every enemy has so much break meter now.
I hit the mark. Spend freely.
Stay back, Clara. Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Watch your head.
A foregone conclusion. Hide.
What a headache. I want to protect everyone. Help me, Mr. Sora.
Mission command. Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless.
I'm not afraid of you.
Annihilate. Mission command.
I want to protect everyone. Tell me, Mr. Sora.
Trifling. Mission command.
Watch your head.
So you are afraid of me. Who's next?
Hedge your bets.
Don't mess with me.
Mission command. Hear this thunder.
So you are afraid of me. I'll end your misery. I'll free you from your disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Sure, I'll...
Stay back, Clara.
I really didn't skill there because this is the last wave.
Conflict is pitiless. Target
But
threat
Sela
index
will run
lowered.
out of
Eliminating threat. Show no mercy.
shield on her turn. You can tell by the flashing at the bottom. But I don't need to worry about that. That's probably enough. Wonderful. It's a big increase. I think I'll get this one, and this one, and this one. And then I can slow down on the traces. So I just need 16 total, and I've got 1. So 15 more of these. That's like another week or so farming this every day. Or it's about using up all of my fuel that I have. I think I got, 4. No, I need more than 4 for sure. Would like to eventually get something irreplaceable here instead. Increases attack by 24. That's like already as good as what I've got. Heal every time they get hit for 8% of their attack stat, and their damage is increased, which means that their crit increases. I only have 3 fuels, but I do have an extra 60. This is like I have 1 day's worth of energy extra, so instead of it being a week, it'll be like 6 days.
Maybe I'll take it all.
Turn it up. You can fight it, or
Everyone's shocked and broken. Oh, I actually forgot that the TV actually had not gotten hit yet.
Watch your head.
Time to say bye. Boom. Stand still.
keep up.
Oh, you're not skilled there. You have an extra one lying around. AI does some pretty wacky things.
Let's rock.
Time to say bye. Boom.
Here is thunder.
There you go.
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Stand still.
You can fight it, or rock with it.
Watch your head.
Conflict is pitiless.
I do kind of love being unstoppable.
say
Right.
bye. Boom.
Each of these followers will always give more shield than I lose.
Here is thunder.
So I can just kind of go on forever with this.
Show no mercy.
Time to say bye. Boom.
Let's rock.
Conflict is pitiless.
Yeah, almost hitting same damage with their basic as Jingyuan is doing
You can fight it.
with his skill. Her ult's doing half of his talent's damage.
Show no mercy.
Oh, and also half of his ultimate damage, I suppose. Okay.
Watch your head.
Here, that's another 2 down. I actually am in need of some of this stuff. Lots of EXP. Oh, that's my bad. I was playing on the Switch earlier. This comes out tonight, 4 in the morning, right at the reset. Interesting. It's some sort of assignment event. Oh well. Let me get off to bed. If you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow with Super Smash Brothers. It's been a while since I've had one of those streams. But yeah, Smash tomorrow. Friday, probably Star Rail if I'm honest. No reason to play anything else right now. Saturday will be everything. I'm gonna probably do 1 or 2, maybe even 3 streams on Saturday. And then Sunday will be an early Tactics Ogre stream. Yeah, that's the schedule, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.